All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Okay, so in today's live stream, we'll do an update of what happened last week. Not really much, but the rate cuts, but that was pretty huge. And obviously, we'll play some chess. Let me check my mic so I can see, make sure that it's working. Give me just a second. All right. Live stream, we'll do an update of what happened last week. Not really much, but the rate cuts, but that was pretty huge. And obviously, we'll play some chess. Let me check my mic so I can see, make sure that it's working. Give me just a second. All right, looks like my mic is working pretty good. Okay, so obviously last week we had the rate cut, 25 basis points. It was already factored into the market. The market was already anticipating a 25 basis point cut. What we wanted to pay attention to is what federal Jerome Powell would be saying after he gave the rate cut. And essentially, I think it was 9 people out of the 12 that wanted a rate cut. I think 2 people didn't want a rate cut, and then 1 person wanted a 50 basis point cut. So overall, the majority of people wanted a rate cut. So I don't think that was pretty harsh news that, okay, 2 people didn't want a rate cut. I think 9 out of 12 is a good majority of the people. And then he talked about how they were going to pause interest rate cuts. Like, we weren't guaranteed one for January because they haven't done their January meeting. And right now, that percentage for a rate cut is sitting at around 25%. Now, let me check it again just to make sure it didn't go up, but I think on Friday it was 25% that we were going to get a rate cut in January. So, but again, he wasn't saying that we weren't going to get a rate cut in January. They were just going to pause it and wait for the data, which we are going to get CPI data this week. So a lot of the economic data that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks is going to determine whether we get a rate cut in January. So yeah, let me just check to see what percentage we're at for a rate cut in January. Fed Watch tool. So we're at 24%, 24.4%. So around 25% that we're going to get a rate cut in January. So pretty low. So there's going to have to be something that comes out in the economic data that suggests that we need another rate cut in January, because right now it doesn't look like we're going to get it. But remember, Jerome Powell will be getting replaced in May, and obviously the administration is going to put somebody in there that's more interest rate, that favors more interest rate cuts. That's just my opinion. Now, again, they do have to vote when they do an interest rate cut. It's not like the chair of the Fed, is just able to say, okay, I want to cut interest rates. Let me go ahead and cut interest rates. They need a vote on it. So even if they get a person that is, that favors a lot of interest rate cuts, they still have to vote on it. Now, that person does have a lot of influence on the group. That's just my opinion. So it still can have a major effect on if we get a lot of interest rate cuts in 2026. But again, they still have to vote on whether they want to get an interest rate cut, right? It's out of, I think it's always 12 people. So, yeah. Okay. So let's see what we can look forward to this week. So it says delayed November jobs report and unemployment rate. A full delayed employment report will hit markets. Job data drives rate expectations and risk estimates. So it looks like we're getting some unemployment data this week. I'm not sure what report that's going to be, but it looks like some type of jobs report for November. I think we got some jobs report numbers for October, the previous month, because remember, again, the government was shut down. So we're kind of getting the backlog of this data, and it's coming out months later. So it looks like we're getting November's jobs report here pretty soon. So the consumer price index November, so we're getting that, I think, this week, midweek. Again, it goes over consumer goods and things like that. And then they have core and headline. Headline is, I believe, energy and something else it excludes. And then core, well, no, headlines including energy, and I forget the other group. And then core excludes energy and whatever that other thing is. I always forget it. So inflation, consumer price index, inflation data arrives midweek, especially core CPI, which makes use to reassess whether the Fed needs to stay dovish or pivot back toward caution. Again, so this is going to be really important. So you want to look out for that. This will probably affect that 25% percentage on whether we're going to get that rate cut or not in January. So very important to pay attention to. Retail sales and business inventories, these give clues. So it looks like there's some report that's coming out on retail sales and business inventories, but they don't tell me what the report is. Okay. So that looks like so basically the highlight of this week would be the CPI data that comes out. Now, I did take a look at crypto prices this morning. It looks like we're selling off again. I thought, and again, we still have the rest of the month. Tomorrow's the 15th, so we're kind of like halfway there. But I thought this month was going to be, more bullish than last month. But it looks like another sell-off month, in my opinion. We may continue like this for the rest of the month. A lot of people are expecting a Santa rally towards the end of the month. That's still on the table because, again, we're only at the middle of the month. But not looking too hot. Again, and it's not looking too bad either. Bitcoin is holding that 90K mark. All coins are kind of staying in the same area as well. I honestly think it's going to be, if we get any type of alt season for crypto, in my opinion, it's going to be catalyst specific. So whatever coin that you're in, it needs to have some type of catalyst, needs to have some type of utilization to where it needs to earn its gains. It's not going to be like previous cycles where everything just goes up. I think maybe at a point everything will go up, but it's not going to be substantial like past cycles. Okay. So yeah, so I noticed that. So if I take a look at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 89,232. So look, it's down 1.16%. So it's selling off, and then everything across the board is down like 1 to 3% essentially. And let's see how the market ended up Friday. Okay, let's see. So it looks like Friday the NASDAQ ended up negative 23,195. The New York Stock Exchange ended up down. Dow Jones ended up down. And this is kind of typical for like price action, typical after rate cuts. Remember, we said it before where every time we get a rate cut, the week after, the few days after, we get this sell-off. We get like a slight pump up into the rate cut, but we don't see the full effect of the rate cut until a few weeks later, which is corresponding towards the end of the month and corresponding with that Santa rally that everybody's expecting, right? So yeah, and then I'm looking at also some stocks. Coinbase was down. The only thing I'm seeing that was up was Tesla. Tesla was up a lot Friday. Nvidia was down. Intel was down. Dell was down. Verizon was up. Nike was down. Apple was up. So just a handful of stocks that were up. A couple blue chip stocks that were up. But for the most part, we were down Friday. And again, we kind of predicted this Wednesday when we were talking about what the price action was going to be after these rate cuts. A lot of the times these things are priced in well in advance. Obviously, we could see the percentage on the Fed Watch tool. So these things are priced in. So we don't really see the full effect until, I would say, towards the end of December or beginning of January. And also remember, it is the end of the year. So taxes are coming up, so people are selling some positions to either claim losses for their taxes for 2025. So we do have that too. We have that kind of against us towards the end of the year. People like to sell off if they're at a loss, and they like to claim that for taxes for 2025. So that's a big thing as well that we need to pay attention to. So we have a couple things working for us, a couple things against us. So it may just like be neutralized out, and we may just consolidate for the rest of this month and then see what happens in 2026. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's the update for this week. I don't really see anything else that I'm thinking about. CPI data, some after effects of the rate cut from last week, and then we'll just see where prices go as far as crypto and the overall stock market. Okay, so let's play some chess. I'll play a couple games, and I'll be done for the day. And my score went down a little bit. I was at 1380 or like 1370, but then I was playing multiple games and I went down in rating. This blitz, like you got to be on point. If not, your rating will go down because it's quicker games. So you tend to play a lot more games for blitz, but you could increase your score pretty quickly as well. And look at that. That's it. It's over. So we got this game won, in my opinion. I predict he will resign here pretty soon. Oof, that was a bad move on his part. Yeah, that was easy for me. Easy money. Like you want to move quick, but you want to pay attention too. I think a lot of people's strategy here for blitz is just to move fast and not pay attention to the actual strategy, which I thought that was what you needed to do, just move quick. But then you just realize that as you move up in rating, people get better, and you need to make sure you know what you're doing. You need to take it like rapid, but just move quicker. It's a free pawn. Ooh, hit my eye. Can I get this third win? Can I get this third win is the question. This is the second game, actually. But I'm going to play one more after this. That was a good move. Let's see. Could have taken that. He's wasting a lot of time. What was that? Oh. He thought he had a free piece. I still don't think he has anything. I don't think he can do anything. Oh, yeah, I don't want to move that. I think I'm in good shape here. Wow, I can't believe I lost that. That was crazy that I lost that in 9 seconds. That was trash that I did that. I can't believe I lost that. That was terrible of me. I gotta win this one now. Okay. I can't believe I lost that 9 seconds, and I had such a good position. That was just crazy of me. Crazy stuff. Like, what? Wow. Okay. Here goes the downfall. Hmm. No. Ah, misclicked. Hate when that happens. Ah, and that's check. Oh, it's not checkmate. Oh, that is checkmate. All right, let me see if I can go again. Man, I can't believe I lost that other game. All right, let's try to get this back. This is gonna be my last game. It's so sad. It's like started so well, and then this nonsense. Let's get rid of that. Free piece. Yeah. Yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew it. And I got more. Yeah, you're gonna have to sacrifice, buddy. And I'll get my W. I'll get my W. As long as I keep up, should be in good shape here. I don't know if that was a good move or not. All right. I don't think so, buddy.
this is gonna be pretty much it here. Well, I could do that, but I just don't want to. Hello, my ID is J4. All right, we can do one. I'll do one after this. All right, send me an invite and we could play one. This would be my last one though. I already played like 4 or 5. One more game. Send me a blitz challenge. Send me a blitz challenge. But 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. All right. All right, cool. That was good. That was good. Got to move a little bit faster here. Okay. If you do that. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's try to push this up. Let's try to push this up, buddy. Let's try to push. Let's try to push. Oh my goodness. All right. That was just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. You know what? I'll run it back with you. I got to get a W. All right, I'll give you this one. Let's run it one more time. I gotta say, all right, this is my last one for sure. Last one for sure. Dang, how did you go all the way to 1400? You were like 1200. It's weird. Let's get this out of here. All right. I should be able to finish this one off. Keyword should. Keyword is should. All right, let's see what I can do here. I'm gonna have to move. Darn it. I am. Darn it. Oh my goodness. I don't. All right, let's see what I can do here. I don't know if I can do anything. Darn it, checkmate. Oh, you didn't see it. That was checkmate. That was good. That was good. All right, that's it. You got me on those. I don't know how your score is going up 65 points. Like, how is that even working? All right. I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, so the market, so crypto looks like it's taking a dip. Bitcoin, I mean, not too much of a dip. It's selling off just a little bit. Bitcoin's at 89,200. It's staying around that 90K mark. We got to see what happens for the rest of this month. Again, we got the interest rate cut last week. The Fed is kind of paused right now as far as the interest rate cuts for January, but they still have it on the table. It's not like they're saying, okay, no interest rate cuts for January. They're waiting to see the economic data. Again, we have the CPI data coming out this week. Once we get that, we will. Good game, man. Good game. That was good. Once we get that, we'll see how the market reacts, but more to come on that. All right, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.